to continue to document these events and stay on the front lines and make
Yep.
sure that we get it all on footage, on the record. So on Friday, May 4th, when you were filming there, there was a very intense situation where it appears that a police officer looks from the footage that he tackled a protester and was holding him down. And then within a few seconds, he was surrounded by a few other protesters, at which point a police car kind of just barreled right on into the crowd. You were right there documenting that. Tell us what that was like. And you also said you saw people getting hit with the rubber bullets. I believe you mentioned somebody lost an eye. There's other people in a coma. Is that all from what happened on Friday?
Yep. That bad. And on Friday, I keep saying it's a photo op operation for the police. They just brought people there. They knew there was a wide open field, plenty of rock, bricks, wood piece, like name it. Every weapon you needed for an activist, it was there. So they,
So there was rocks and bricks and everything just laying around in that area.
it's called unlimited weapon. It's like it's sick. It was just everywhere. And I was looking at it. It's almost a football size field. That's how much rock we had. And so just to get back on that, so that car, just before that, there was a bus over there too, out of nowhere in the middle of a crowd. And people just started to throw rock only at the police things, not the stores. They didn't destroy anything, only with the police van. And once the bus got destroyed, they run after us. They throw the kind of gas thing. And so I ran away just to back off a bit. And out of nowhere, we get that Joe Blow, a cop, not even in the riot uniform, that jumps in the crowd out of nowhere and he tackles the guy down. So there's people who went on the cop just to remove him. They were not beating him up. They just removed him. But out of nowhere, I think the car that ran in the crowd wanted to protect the guy. But the thing is, charging crowd, smashing into people, no, we don't have weapon technically. They have a car. Technically, they're trained to act to self and defense, and now we have like charging and attacking people, and that's where people got very very mad and they throw rock, they beat up the cop, but beat up against a few punch and kick. I don't agree with it necessarily, but it gets to a point that it's like you keep messing with a dog, you're gonna get bit one day. And I think turn back now, I think it's just gonna get nastier. And as for the other people, three people in coma with plastic rubber bullet, maybe that size. So it's maybe 10 centimeter long. It's not even rubber, it's plastic. So there's one guy who got shot here on the neck. So now he can't hear anymore on his left ear. It's a head trauma he had.
Wow. Yeah.
Now,
It's just
it could have been me or the guy next to him, and I spoke with people who were next to the guy, and we all got shocked because I thought the guy was dead. On my own film, I didn't took it out yet. I'm yelling it. He's fucking dead. Sorry, but I'm yelling that, and I've seen violent things, but that was nasty. And there's another one who just lost an eye, and
unbelievable. And so
there's
you're working on cutting together some of this footage now. Are you putting together a video?
but I'm chilling out. Yes, I'm gonna cut it off, but the images that comes back, no, I don't mind seeing rocks, people beating up people, but seeing people almost falling like that. I used to work in a trauma room, but it's traumatized to see that because people were not going there to get injured. They're going there to protest, and if it turns bad, it turns bad. But to end up in coma, three people in coma. Now we're not talking about one or two by accident. They shot bullet in people's face. Both
Yeah.
of them. Both of them is related with plastic bullet. And if it's funny because on May 1st we had an anti-capitalist walk in Montreal for May Day. I sent you a video if you remember. It was total war zone on St. Catherine,
Mhm.
and I realized something while I was up there with a friend of mine. We're all there's nothing to protect us except car on the light, and the cop was just poop 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 shooting rubber bullet randomly in the crowd. So it gets to a point. Are they trained just to shoot in the crowd, or they're trained to go at the person that throw them a rock? That if you want to shoot at the guy who throw you a rock, that's one thing. But if there's 5,000 people next to you with children and ladies or pregnant, old people, is it worth to shoot randomly in a crowd? What is the main goal? I think is to terrorize people to prevent them to go protest anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And now I want to get your opinion on some new legislation that they're trying to introduce that would make it illegal to wear a mask at these protests. And we know that there's the facial recognition cameras that the police use that protesters often want to hide themselves from the cameras. There is tear gas that when you put vinegar on a rag, you can protect yourself from the tear gas. So a lot of people who wear masks are not intending to do anything criminal. They simply want to protect themselves from the facial recognition,
Exactly.
from the chemicals. So what do you think about this new law so that they're going to start targeting people with masks in these crowds? I personally wouldn't wear a mask at a protest. It's not what I would do, but I feel you should have the right to if you want to protect yourself from the chemical weapons and from the facial recognition systems. What do you think of this new law?
Are you talking about a federal law that just they passed for December?
Well, I believe there is a new one that is going to be voted on May 14th, where they're going to try to ban wearing a mask at protests in Montreal.
Yeah, it's already been passed yesterday.
Well,
So in the next 90 days in Montreal, now every people are going to be masked. It's going to be a fine, or the protest is going to become illegal. But personally, we just can't wait for them to call it legal because everybody's going to be masked, and we're going to do people party is going to be masquerade. So everybody's going to be dressed, and we're just going to invent something because every time they try to prevent people to wear masks, I do wear ski goggles and masks during protests. I will never be able to film myself anything if I wouldn't wear a mask. Seriously, it's just insane. There's so much gas in the air or pepper spray or whatever they're using, except on last Friday was exceptional and I've never smelled that thing. But usually in Montreal, you can still put vinegar and block the gas coming out.
mhm.
But to start to criminalize what they want to do with the federal government, it's like 5 years in jail.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not, it becomes very ridiculous. And I,
absolutely. And as you said, for somebody like yourself, a videographer documenting, filming, it's important to protect yourself.
yeah, but still in the end, if you get arrested in Montreal, they take your camera away.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I didn't realize that. And can you get your footage back, or do they hold on to it for a little while?
Ah, but sometimes they take your phone, they put it in the bag, and they drop it in water. So that's how you get it back.
Right.
Multi-function, water included in your phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that they wonder why we have issues with the police. I don't hate police. I just still believe that there's still a few percentage that are good because there's some of them that told me some stuff while they're walking with us. But the question I'm asking is why the hell are they keep following orders? And they keep saying, but somebody's gonna be mad at me. But if you want to change and we do a change, I won't be mad at the cop who gave his badge. Well, I don't know, didn't do an arrest. That makes sense. I think people just lost common sense somewhere, and
Yeah.
everybody's scared to act on many ways. Just I don't know why they're scared. It's like people are scared to be scared.
Hmm. Yeah, we certainly don't want to be anti-police in any way. We need them on our side, really. So I would have to agree with you on that point. So just in closing here, like, do you think that there's going to be some deals reached? I mean, I know that the negotiations were pretty much shut down a few days ago, but are there still discussions that you know of with the student body and do you think they're going to come to an agreement anytime soon, or is this going to continue?
But Saturday there was a meeting between the government and the student association, and the government, as good as they are, the liberal, they brought the student in a room for 20 hours at least. Deal, 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 deal. And I'm sorry, after 20 hours, a night spent awake, and you have deal that have been signed, that is deal A, and when you come out publicly, the government scrapped the book and came out with deal B that people didn't really know what the hell what was it. So you're trying to screw people with the public opinion and with the media again. And by putting people on having discussion for 20 hours, somehow you're going to lose your head, you're going to get tired, you can't focus for 20 hours in meeting. You know as much as me. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that sleeping deprivation can corrupt your judgment a little bit, even if you don't sleep for 20 hours or something like that. So it gets to a point that what was the main goal of that negotiation? So there were some votes since Monday. There's vote, and everybody except one college, they all rejected. So we're back to square one. We're on strike again, And that movement that is just student, that was student at the base of it, now it became social. There's more and more causes that are getting attached to it. There's people who are getting more attached to it, as much as you have all sorts of anything that's related to community. People are jumping in now, so I don't think that's going to stop. Even if the strikes stop, it's just going to keep going. And the way I see it is, we're up for spring. How long will it last? Look at Greece. It's been like that for 2 years. So I don't think we're going to stop tomorrow. And what are we going to have? We remove the liberal to have a conservative or a right-wing party in Quebec. It's like 2 pennies for another 2 pennies. So
That's right. Yeah, no, I agree. And certainly this, if this does continue, it certainly could spark, a larger thing across the country. So certainly the whole country is paying attention at this time. So I want to thank you for, being there on the front lines, documenting it, providing us with the footage over here so we can see what's happening as opposed to what we're getting from the mainstream media. So why don't you let us know what is your YouTube channel, and if you have a blog or a website, where can people go if they want to find out more from you?
you can go on YouTube. You can look for the channel The Verbal Militia, or simply go by The Love Police Montreal. Or you can go to on Facebook too, and there's a WordPress too on WordPress / The Love Police Montreal.
All right, perfect, man. I'll put links to those in the description so people can check them out. And thanks for talking to us today, man. You keep up the great work.
Same to you, man. Keep it up.
Okay, take care.
Take care too.